Afternoon. It's 12 noon. Just finished a call, so I had to move the phone back there. Thank you so much for coming to my live today. It's Thursday, which means we are doing my weekly live on my Botanicamy page. My name is Dr. Tanya Jooste. I run the page Botanicamy. I can't even say my own word today. It's the alchemy of soothing botanic ingredients. And as people are logging in, fantastic. I can see I can wave again today, so I'm just going to wave. Catherine has just arrived. Laureen, Nell, oh, thanks guys. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for logging in. We started off my series last week by sort of highlighting what good resources or what credible resources are available to assist you and to support your journey by switching to healthier habits. And this week we start to kick off all the various body systems. And I think very apt before we can start talking about body systems is something that mostly controls all those body systems. So today, technically not body system specifically. Oh, I can wave at so many people. Yolandi's just logged in. Jill, fantastic. Lani, welcome everyone. Thank you. I'm trying to wave at everyone as we go along. Brilliant. So today is technically not body system. It's more about mental health. Because mental health and your brain obviously has a really big role on all the rest of the systems in your body. And you will all know when you don't feel so well, or when you've woken up with the wrong foot outside the bed, or it's that time of the month and your hormones are causing a little bit of havoc. You all know that your moods are affected. And for some of us, or most of us, especially me, being an introvert and not really talking about things, processing things internally, all that stress, sometimes anger, goes and sits inside my body. Okay, so today is going to be relevant because it's something that we need to think about as a whole of our bodies before we start looking and delving into each system specifically to see how oils can support us. But let's start right at the top here. This beautiful organ at the top, because I don't think we always remember how powerful our minds are. So more people. Hello Jerry, hello Anli, fantastic. I'm going to try and wave at you all. If you can maybe send me some love, then I'll know at least you can see I'm waving at you. I don't know, tell me what it looks like on the other side of Facebook there on this live. That's obviously a new function. I haven't figured it out yet. Sorry guys. So yeah, send me some love, and I can see, yes, I'm seeing some likes, I'm seeing some hearts. Yay! So obviously the waving thing works. Thank you, Facebook. All right, great. So let's get started. Today is going to be very orientated toward a testimonial, and the reason for that is I think it's good to be able to speak what is working for each of us. And the reason for that is we are all so very biochemically different. So very much related to what's going inside our bodies, what our health status is. Do we have any kind of gut issues going on? Do we have organs in our body that need additional support? Wow, more people logging in. I'm going to wave at all of you as you're coming in. Hello, Alexia and Tanya Hoffman. Brilliant. And Beth. Yay, she's looking forward to the class. I'm looking forward to teach it. My favorite thing. My favorite part of the week, teaching about oils. All right, so there are a lot of oils that can support mental health. And the reason for that is, if you all remember how quickly essential oils work, your olfactory nerve sensors just below this bony part in your nose, they sit right there. And when you are taking a whiff of an essential oil by simply opening the bottle, beautiful, frankincense, those aromatic molecules or messages get sent to the limbic brain, and within a couple of seconds, Jackie, hello, super excited as well, and Charmaine, hello. So those aromatic molecules move up to your limbic brain, and within a couple of seconds, they are going to cause a reaction. So basically what happens is there's neurotransmitters that get stabilized, increased, decreased, the secretion of them obviously, and it's a really quick and effective system to able to bring you back on track if that's something that you would like to do. All right, so mental health can be very heavily supported by the use of essential oils. Okay, so let's just think about it for a second. You know, I've been someone who's actually been quite good right through this lockdown at safeguarding my mind. All right, not going off in a spiral. I think I've done quite well until the last week, unfortunately. Okay, and I think it's been a compounding effect of things happening around me and listening maybe to too much things that are happening and not necessarily being very focused on what is going on and not taking it on board. In other words, getting swept up by the emotion of what's going on around me. So unfortunately, in the last week, it has hit home really hard at how powerful our minds are actually in controlling how we feel in a day and what pain we're experiencing in our bodies and all those kind of things. So unfortunately, this week I had a really bad day where I was just absolutely angry, and I didn't understand how I could be so affected by what was going on around me, because it wasn't that heavy. I just really reacted negatively, and then that thought sprang up. Not Tuesday, because Tuesday I was really angry. But perhaps by Wednesday morning, when I started rethinking about things again, and sort of regrouping and mindfully thinking about why I got so severely upset with what was going on, I remembered that where the mind goes, energy flows. And if your mind is focused on the negative things, I mean, we're programmed. Our bodies are programmed to focus on the negative things because it's our flight or flight. So it's helping us respond in a manner that is required to stay safe, to stay alive. All right, so when you are starting to focus on the negative things, your mind goes there, and the energy sort of can throw you into that downward spiral really, really quickly if you're not cognizant of it and you don't take swift action. Okay, so I probably should have thought of this earlier on Tuesday, but unfortunately it was one of those days, and I only really started mindfully thinking about how I could change my situation first thing on Wednesday morning, and I also then started reaching for my oil. So when we are in a really, really anxious kind of setting, when we're really feeling upset, or we are feeling distraught or sad and something has happened that we are really going through a grieving process, there's quite a lot of support that can be offered by essential oils. And when we are in a stressful situation like that, whether it's real or not, it doesn't matter, because our minds think that it is a really stressful situation. I'm waving at more people as they come in. That's why my hand moves forward and back all the time. Hi, Tracy, and hi, Rose. Thank you for joining. So our mind is now focusing, stress, really angry, really annoyed with what's going on around me. But what happens is we need good stress, because that's obviously that get up and go thing, right? That's what gets us to do stuff in a day. But unfortunately, there's also a thing that is called distress. Okay, so distress is when you are in a stressful condition for too long and you're actually not able to calm yourself down. You're in flight or flight. That's constant inflammation. And what happens is, obviously, is your cortisol levels increase to an unhealthy level, and they remain there. And there's quite a few things. Your immune system starts shutting down, and basically it can cause weight gain, negative emotions, joint discomfort, and more. And guess what? I have been experiencing a lot more joint discomfort in the last 2 days than I'm normal, or that I'm used to. So obviously, I'm definitely one of those that goes and stores all that stress and stuff inside my body. So this is something that I really need to focus on. So hopefully my testimonial of today will help guide you, because perhaps there's some of the oils that I mentioned that's going to be beneficial in supporting you in your kind of conditions as well. So usually I don't talk brand specific. I always just focus very heavily on using pure certified oils. As long as you can get a lab result for your specific batch of oil, you should be safe, because if they're that transparent with it, then obviously you know you're winning. There's no extra junk added in there, because essential oils are really safe and easy to use if they are pure and someone's not lying about what they've put inside the bottle, because there is no international standard for essential oils. So usually I don't focus on brands, but today I am going to. And the reason for that is, when you're in such a distressed situation, you don't want to be thinking about what oils to be blending together. Go and do a little bit of research first and see, oh, I'm really upset today. Let me go and read this book and see which essential oils to combine in a synergistic blend together. Because either, number one, you haven't had a lot of background yet, you haven't done a lot of research yet, you've not necessarily studied it for a long time, and therefore in such a situation, to have to throw a couple of oils together very quickly, your body will probably intuitively tell you what to use, but we've also lost the ability to really listen to our bodies well. So in that kind of situation, I would suggest reaching for a blend which is produced by a company where they do an extensive amount of research on which essential oils combined together are going to work synergistically at supporting you for a specific condition and specifically for mental health. All right, so today we are going to be talking specifically about doTERRA's oils, because that is my favorite brand, because they are giving me a GCMS result for every single batch of oil I use. So basically from there, what doTERRA suggests, and I think this is a good thing I probably should have thought on Tuesday, is in any very stressful situation, you've got to take 2 minutes to just breathe. Because if you're able to slow your breathing down, your heart rate slows down, okay? And then you can get yourself back into that parasympathetic state, so you're not in flight or flight, so you can go back into digest and rest. Because if you're not, everything is working overtime, your whole body goes into stress mode, cortisol shoots through the roof, and you're really just causing yourself a lot of harm. Most people don't get body aches and pains. I do. Today, my elbow, my knee, and my hip is really sore to an extent where I actually woke up from the pain in the middle of the night last night. So I know for a fact that this week has been a really rough week on my body. And even though my mind is a lot calmer now because of the use of essential oils, I'm going to have to consciously start doing more yoga and doing more meditation, because things like breathing, drinking herbal tea and making a ceremony of it, things like drinking chamomile tea, for instance, lavender tea, really good at calming you down. Getting outside and getting some fresh air is really crucial at bringing back a mental state of clarity and calmness. Doing exercise for at least 30 minutes a day. I know I've not been doing enough yoga in the last week or two because I'm overworking it. And that's probably part of the reason why I got myself so worked up, because when I don't get that release, all that pent up energy just builds and builds and builds until I like explode, which is what happened this week. Need to set out at least 10 minutes of meditation, preferably early in the morning, because if you've got that positive mindset going into the day, you really are just set for a good day. Giving yourself a hand massage, and if you can't find someone else to do the hand massage for you, give yourself a hand massage, because just that loving care and taking care of yourself can actually switch those negative brain patterns around really, really quickly. Ensure that you get enough sleep. Now, this is like a really catch-22 situation, because I know they tell us we need to sleep more because then our adrenals can reset and then we have a better chance at stressing less. But when you're stressed, let's face it, do you sleep well? I certainly don't, okay? I wake up very often in the middle of the night. I wake up frantic thinking, oh, I've got to make these lists. I'm not going to remember to do things. So it is a catch-22, but if you can have a sleep routine, it's definitely going to go a long way in assisting you to bring down those stress levels and improve your mental health. And you've got to generate a support system. So whether that be speaking to people, doing exercise because that's what your body needs, or using essential oils, get yourself a support system, get yourself a buddy you can chat to if that's something that you respond to really well. Investigate alternative techniques like trauma release exercises, or even electronic, what is EFT? Now I've forgotten the whole acronym, the long word. But there's certain techniques one can practice that helps bring your body back into balance, that can go a long way, because if you are in that negative thought pattern, it just spirals. And because we're programmed to pick up negative things, you've got to think of 4 positive things that you're grateful for to sort of balance out that one negative thing. 4 versus 1. That's quite a hectic ratio if you think about it, okay? So before things get out of control, let's talk about essential oils that are going to be able to support you. And I'll first talk about single ones, and then we're going to talk about amazing blends. And again, not all blends work for everyone. Very much dependent on what is needed in your life and in your body at that specific time period, okay? So oils that are really good at calming is lavender, bergamot, things like clary sage, very high linalool oil concentration together with lavender. Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, one of my absolute favorites just because it's such a beautiful oil. Ooh, there's so many people. Juanita, welcome. Mariette. And Lindsay, I'm waving at you. Hopefully you can see it on your side. There we go. Like the love coming in, please. Petitgrain, which is also from the orange tree, and then vetiver. These are all oils that if you've got them singly, amazing. You can put those into a blend. But as I said, when you're in such a downward spiral, thinking of a blend to make, yeah, I don't know so much, okay? Definitely. There we go. Thanks, Charmaine. Emotional freedom technique. That's what I'm looking for. That really does assist me together with trauma release exercises. But when you're in such a spin, you sometimes don't even think about these things. So then having the buddy to phone and they can remind you, Tanya, get down on the floor and do your exercises. You know, perhaps we should just be willing to receive and reach out sometimes. Okay, even if we're introverts, and we don't want to let the world know what's going on, really. Okay, so oils that have a beneficial synergistic effect in a blend. More people. Hello, Isolda. The first one I'm going to talk about today is Serenity, which is a blend that doTERRA has brought out specifically to make you feel serene. It's in the word. Okay, so there's a lot of lavender in there. There's actually vetiver in there as well. And this is one that I very routinely use in my diffuser in the evening to make me fall asleep a little bit sooner than I would normally do, and also definitely does assist me in sleeping a little bit more soundly. Okay, so Serenity is a blend that you really need to get hold of if you struggle to stay calm on a routine basis, or when you are really just struggling to sleep. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is something that was created to ground you, and this balance is called doTERRA's Balance Blend or Soothing Blend. A lot of people, or grounding blend, sorry, not soothing blend. Balance is the grounding blend. A lot of children really benefit from using this oil as a supportive measure to calm down, and similarly a lot of adults. And I like to wear it. I can't do it now because it like clangs against my earphones, but basically my lava beads, I like to put balance on my lava beads, because then I have the smell around me all the time. And it sort of helps to ground and calm me. It's a really good one to put on your feet before you go to bed as well, if you're not walking barefoot a lot at the moment, because we do need to ground ourselves. Nicolette's saying she loves Serenity. Yes. Here I'm going to give you an amazing combo, Tanya tip, something that works. I don't know, the amalgamation of beautiful flavors that you get. Serenity and ylang ylang and breathe together in a diffuser is pure bliss, let me tell you. So that is a very good combo for you to try in your diffuser at night as well. All right, so Alison is asking, Serenity okay to diffuse with pets around? Alison, you can actually, there's a couple of oils that cats are really sensitive to. As long as you're diffusing in a well-ventilated room and the door is open. Remember, cats are a lot more intuitive than we are. They've got a lot stronger sense of smell too. So if they don't like it, they are going to leave the room, and that's fine. All right, so yes, I'd say you can do Serenity. Both my cats have absolutely no issues with Serenity. So you can put it in the diffuser, just leave that door open for them, okay? Because they might be particular cats that just don't like them. All right, so this balance blend that I just talked about, it is very grounding. All right, so frankincense and blue tansy concentration in the balance blend is really high, and both of them are very grounding, soothing oils, especially the frankincense, because it's a tree resin. If you think about a tree and it stands and its roots, it's steadfast. Usually all the tree oils and the resins are really good at grounding you. So that's another oil you can reach for when you need to calm down. Then we're going to talk about a new blend that has just been released in South Africa called Adaptive, and I'm still waiting for mine, and I wish I had it on Tuesday, but in the process I actually learned what my body needs, and I'll be talking about that right at the end, so please stay tuned for that, because it's a blend that absolutely just turned my week around so quickly, I almost couldn't believe it. So the Adaptive that's just been released in South Africa, it's been going for quite a while in America, and there again, a lot of people are finding quite a lot of benefit for anxious feelings or everything just spiraling out of control. And it contains things like wild orange, which we all know is really calming, yet provides a lot of focus. Lavender, high linalool in there, so really calming. Copahiba or Copaiba, depending on how you say it. It's a beautiful anti-inflammatory, and this is actually one of the oils they'll be speaking about in their Wellness Summit, which is happening on the 17th of July. If you don't know what that is, just put it in the comments. I can send you a link to go and register for it. It's free. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and they'll be focusing quite heavily on Copaiba because there are just so many anti-inflammatory benefits from this essential oil, and more than that, good supporting benefits for mental health as well. The Adaptive also contains spearmint, which is a little bit less pronounced and less potent in smell, I'd say, than peppermint. Magnolia, rosemary, really good for focus. Neroli, which is very calming, and sweet gum. All right, and all of these oils together in the synergistic combination have shown really good scientific results to show why people are feeling less anxious when they use this as a supportive mechanism together with things like yoga or Pilates or meditation, or really just exercises that are aiming to get you to get back into balance, okay? Especially when you're spiraling yourself out of control, because we do tend to do that every now and then. And then once you are feeling okay again and you would like to progress forward, the citrus oils and those that contain mint. So here we think peppermint and spearmint, yes, but more so things like basil, coriander, all those kind of herbs are very minty as well. So those oils are really beneficial to then start you to get back and going, having energy again, and feeling less for the liver. All right. So let's just quickly talk about the 2 oils that I reached for this week. And on Wednesday morning, when I got up and I had been in such a bad spiral on Tuesday, I just thought to myself, what the heck is going on? Is this hormones? Why am I so out of it? Because I literally woke up with a hectic head tension as well. And it just intuitively came to me, try these 2 blends. And literally within 5 minutes, it changed my life around. I was able to be me again, focus on the task at hand, and not be so negative about what was going on around me. And the 2 blends I'm going to talk about now are called Cleary Calm, which is the Women's Monthly Blend, and Past Tense. Now, Past Tense is the one that I use quite a lot for head tension, because when the heat goes up and it doesn't come down, it's quite sore. But basically a combination of these 2, and all I did was literally put a roll of the Past Tense in the one hand, very strong oil, 100% pure, not diluted with carrier at all, so it might be too strong for you, always then dilute. And then I basically just added the Cleary Calm to my other palm, gave it a roll. Not going to miss out on this opportunity. Rub your hands together, become a human diffuser, and inhale a couple of times deeply, 3 to 4 times, and just really breathe. And oh my goodness, the difference that made was spectacular. So just to mention, if you want to make your own blends with that in, the oils to consider are wintergreen, lavender, peppermint, frankincense, cilantro, which is the leafy part, obviously, of the coriander, marjoram, Roman chamomile, basil, and rosemary. And I've always been one that responds really well to the resins and the herbs. A lot better than most people, like most people calm down quite effectively from citrus, whereas I always lean more towards the herbs. So I guess that's why the Past Tense really helped me. And then adding the combination of Cleary Calm, which is clary sage, linalool oil, calming, lavender, linalool oil, bergamot, Roman chamomile, so more Roman chamomile in there, ylang ylang, cedarwood, geranium, fennel, carrot seed, palmarosa, and Vitek leaf. Okay, so all of those combined together, and I know that's a bunch full of oils, right? So if you do have those blends, try and put them together. And let me know what they do for you, because I cannot tell you the difference it made in my life this week. And at least now I know I'll be able to work through the cortisol. I'll try and get that down by doing a little bit more relaxation exercises, those kind of things, a little bit more meditation, because I know that's what my body requires. But at least it brought my mind that was spiraling out of control back into control. And I could start to think clearly again, because let's face it, when you go that off kilter, it's like buzzing. Nothing works. You can't think. You can't do anything. You get completely sidetracked with everything that you're doing. So yeah, let me know if that is something that's going to work for you, or that you want to try and that you think it could work for you. And if you don't have these oils, please reach out to me, because I can help you get these oils at good wholesale prices. But yes, thank you for joining today. It was a little bit of a more vulnerable one, unfortunately, but it's a good one to start with, because if our mental health is not where it needs to be, our body is always going to suffer. And then we've got no chance in supporting our body systems, because the mind, after all, is the most powerful thing in our bodies. So thank you so much for joining today. I hope you learned a little something. Perhaps you saw a blend that you are willing to try. And I will see you guys again next week, Thursday, for my next live, where we will then start progressing through all the various body systems, what they do, and what essential oils will be able to support you through that journey. Okay. Thank you so much. Really good to see you all. I can see there's even more people logging in, so I'm just going to wave at them as well. And there we go. Thank you. See you all next week. Bye-bye.